Good morning. Here is the news at 10. First, the highlights. Lagos State House of Assembly urges security agencies to crack down on cult activities in Mushi. Benue State Governor, Chief of Defense Staff, Inspector General of Police vow to end killings. On the foreign scene, Russian strikes kill 15 persons, injure dozens others in Ukraine. And in sport, former Atalanta coach urges Napoli to sign Nigeria's international Ademola Lookman. Now the details. I am Dele Agadumo. The Lagos State House of Assembly has urged security agencies to crack down on cult activities in Mushi and other parts of the state, and also strengthen policing efforts, as renewed cult clashes and violence in these areas have led to loss of innocent lives. Lawmaker representing Mushi Constituency 2 in the House, Olayinka Kazim, raised the motion under matters of urgent public importance. According to Kazim, there has been a disturbing surge in cult-related violence and youth unrest in his constituency, with some underage youth now involved in cult clashes, endangering lives and property. Kazim, who also called for enforcement of strict drug control, urgent reorientation and intervention programs to steer young people away from violence. In their contributions, the lawmakers called for stiffer penalties for offenders, warning them against excessive sympathy for those involved in cultism. The lawmakers also identified the abuse of sachet alcohol as a key contributor to youth violence and advocated stakeholders' meetings with troubled youths as part of a broader intervention strategy. In his contribution, Speaker of the House, Mudashiru Obasa, agreed that the issue is widespread across Lagos State. While acknowledging the strain on prison facilities, he emphasized the need for alternative solutions, such as youth engagement through sports, a program the House had previously budgeted for.
I believe in our own wisdom as a House of Assembly representing people of Lagos. We talk about the idea of sports. Now we must ensure that sporting activities is being encouraged in the state, so that many of these boys, young boys, roaming the street and be engaged, they can be enticed. And we have seen it in other developed world. You talk about the old Europe generally. You have more people. Those who are engaged. We've heard stories about many of them, coming from the prison and report to boxers, so we can engage these.
The Speaker concluded by affirming that the Commissioner of Police and the other concerned commissioners would be summoned to appear before the House for further deliberation, after which the Assembly will take a concrete position. The Lagos State House of Assembly has lauded the country's 26 years of uninterrupted democracy, calling it a testament to the will of the Nigerian people to sustain freedom and liberty for future generations. The lawmakers took turns to speak on the significance of June 12, saying it holds an indelible place in Nigeria's political consciousness, a date now officially designated as the nation's Democracy Day and a defining moment in Nigeria's quest for democratic governance. They emphasized the country's evolution into a leading force in Africa and a respected voice on the global stage, reflecting on the country's journey to democracy as a nation that demonstrates resilience, strength, capacity, and an unyielding spirit in the face of numerous and daunting challenges. Speaker of the House, Mudashiru Obasa, said Nigeria's democracy, now unbroken for more than 25 years, stands as a testament to the will of the Nigerian people to attain and sustain freedom and liberty for posterity. He commended President Bola Tinubu's administration for initiating transformative reforms aimed at repositioning Nigeria's economy despite global challenges, adding that it is important to uphold the renewed hope agenda to enhance the sustainability of democracy. Our correspondent Abiola Fagolagu reports that the House resolved to write a letter of appreciation to the President, heroes and heroines who fought hard for the country's democracy. The federal government has launched the official digital portal for the forthcoming Nigeria Youth Conference, otherwise called the National Youth Confab. The Confab is aimed at engaging young Nigerians in policy discussions and national development. Minister of Youth Development, Ayuade Olawande, who announced the launch, described the initiative as more than just a conference, but a generational turning point, a national movement, and a call to action. Olawande said the portal would enable delegates to register, contribute, and get real-time updates throughout the time of the conference. According to him, the confab would be held through multi-level participation, including with young Nigerians in the diaspora, consultation with youths across the 360 federal constituencies, zonal consultations in 6 states, and finally, a national conference in Abuja to harmonize recommendations. The Bauchi State government, through the State Environmental Protection Agency, has prohibited farming activities along road setbacks. The agency's public relations officer, Yahaya Waziri, said the agency also banned farming activities in open spaces within the metropolis and urban centers in the state. While explaining that the directive is aimed at ensuring clean, safe, and healthy environment for all residents, Waziri emphasized that farming on roadsides and designated open spaces pose serious threats to public safety, obstructs drainage systems, defaces the urban landscape, and contributes to environmental degradation. Waziri revealed that Bauchi State Environmental Protection Agency, BASEPA, would commence strict monitoring and enforcement of this prohibition, and defaulters would face appropriate sanctions by existing environmental laws and regulation in the state. He said the directive was part of BASEPA's effort to protect the environment and promote a healthy living space for all the residents. Now to the rest of the stories. Benue State Governor Hyacinth Alia, Chief of Defense Staff Christopher Musa, and the Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetoku has vowed to end the killings in Benue State. They stated this when they visited the Yewata community in Guma local government area of the state. Earlier, while briefing the Chief of Defense Staff and the Inspector General of Police on the attacks, lamented the extent of the carnage. He expressed confidence that the visit would bring relief to the troubled areas and restore peace. During the visit, the Chief of Defense Staff, Christopher Musa, ordered field commanders from Benue and Nasarawa states to review their operational strategies and deal decisively with any act of terrorism in Benue. He urged the communities to engage troops with mutual trust to deal decisively with criminals. On his part, the Inspector General of Police commiserated with the members of the community and reassured them of the MPF's commitment to further augment the available security emplacement in the state. He directed the immediate deployment of additional tactical teams and assets and assigned the Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of the Department of Operations to take charge and oversee the operations aimed at restoring peace to Benue. It will be recalled that bandits suspected to be armed herders last Friday attacked the community, leading to the death of at least 59 residents and the displacement of over 3,000 others. The Kano State Police Command has arrested 51 suspects and recovered dangerous weapons as well as illicit drugs in an intelligence-led clearance operation targeting criminal hideouts across the Kano metropolis. The operation, which lasted 3 days, covered areas in Kano Municipal, Dala, Gwale, and Tarauni local government area, including Kofamata, Zage, Kurna, Rigia, Lemo, Dorayi, Hotoro, and Sheka quarters. Deputy Police Public Relations Officer Husseini Abdullahi said the operation was part of the ongoing efforts to rid the state of thuggery and related criminal activities. He quoted the Commissioner of Police, Ibrahim Bakori, as warning against the use of weapons during traditional performances such as Kidangangi. Abdullahi warned parents, guardians, and blacksmiths who were aiding or concealing the possession of weapons to desist from doing so, vowing that they will also be held accountable under the law. And now to foreign news. At least 15 people have been killed and dozens more wounded in Russian strikes on the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv. The attack overnight into Tuesday was one of the largest bombardments on Kyiv since the beginning of the full-scale invasion more than 3 years ago. Ukraine's Interior Minister Igor Klimenko said a total of 440 drones and 32 missiles had been launched at the country. Meanwhile, Russian air defense units intercepted and destroyed 147 Ukrainian drones overnight. The strikes on Kyiv lasted more than 9 hours, sending residents fleeing to underground shelters from before midnight until after sunrise. Officials said a ballistic missile hit a 9-story apartment building in one district, with a total of 27 districts of the city coming under fire. In our sports, former Atalanta coach Bottolo Muti has expressed belief that Napoli will win the Serie A title for the second consecutive time if they sign Nigeria's international Ademola Lookman. Napoli has been linked with a move for Lookman, who has been a consistent performer for Atalanta since making the switch from Bundesliga club RB Leipzig 3 years ago. Manager Antonio Conte has reportedly demanded that the Partenope sign Lookman at replacement for Kivcha Kvaratskhelia. Kvaratskhelia left Napoli for European champions Paris Saint-Germain in January. Lookman recorded 20 goals and 7 assists in 40 appearances across all competitions for Atalanta last season. Lagos State government is set to host 370 students for the Southwest Geopolitical Zone Basic Education Schools Sports Competition (BES). Commissioner for Basic Education Jamiu Ali Balogun made this known during a press briefing while declaring the event open. Ali Balogun, who said the best competition is more than just a sporting competition, described it as a celebration of teamwork, an embodiment of discipline and sportsmanship. The commissioner, who said the competition will inspire a new generation of sports enthusiasts, leave a lasting impact on the young participants, urged the young athletes to embrace fair play, learn from one another, and strive for excellence. Ali Balogun also said the state has a proud tradition of excellence in sport, with the students consistently excelling at various competitions at local, federal, and international levels.
Wednesday, 18 June, at CMS Grammar School, Bariga. This event will commence by 9 a.m. and end by 4 p.m. The track and field events will also be held on Wednesday, 18 June at Agege Stadium, 9 to 4 p.m. that same day. While the grand finale football final will be held on Thursday, 19th at Yaba College of Tech Sport Conference Ground by 11 o'clock.
On his part, Executive Chairman, Lagos State Universal Basic Education Board, Hakeem Shitu, said the second edition will promote spirit of sportsmanship and interaction within the participants, as the pupils will be participating in various sporting events such as races, long jump, high jump, football, chess, Scrabble, Ayolokmo, and other board games. He added that safety measures have also been put in place and qualified sports officials will be available to guarantee fairness and professionalism. Well, that ends our news at 10. Just before we go, stop for pedestrians at zebra crossing. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch your news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. Visit our website on www.trafficradio961.ng. You can also listen to Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM live on My Lagos app for timely updates. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration provided 450,000 pupils with e-learning devices? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, try the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State House of Assembly has urged security agencies to crack down on cult activities in Mushi and other parts of the state, and also strengthen policing efforts as renewed cult clashes and violence in these areas have led to loss of innocent lives. Benue State Governor Hyacinth Alia, Chief of Defense Staff Christopher Musa, and the Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun have vowed to end the killings in Benue State. We also told you that at least 15 people have been killed and dozens were more wounded in Russian strikes on the Ukrainian capital, Kiev. And in sport, former Atalanta coach Bartolo Muti has expressed belief that Napoli will win the Serie A title for the second consecutive time if they sign Nigeria's international Ademola Lookman. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That is the news broadcast compiled by Zainab Adebeshi. I'm Dele Agadumo. Good morning. Thank you for listening.